Hello, my name is Angela Thompson. I am the owner and founder of ArKAngel Enterprises. We help individuals and companies to thrive. And it is my honor and pleasure to be with you today and to introduce my friend, and now yours, in honor of Women's HERstory Month. They call it History Month, but we know better, right? So it's HERstory Month. And boy, do we have a story to share. And this is all about elevating the voice, letting you know who these living legends are and what they do so that you too can come to them when you have a need or you just want to know more about their relatable story that resonates with all of us. And so, with no further ado, I want to introduce you to CHARLENE Newsome. And Miss CHARLENE and I, we have a little bit of history because we are both members of Top Ladies of Distinction. And one thing to know about Miss CHARLENE is that she is incredibly resourceful. She is incredibly thoughtful. She has a heart to serve, and you're going to see that as carried over in her business. And so one of the things that I thrive with ArKAngel Enterprises is to elevate the voices of other businesses so that we can all share resources and go to each other when we need that particular service for whatever purpose it may be. And so today, I'd like for Miss CHARLENE to tell us about your business and what is the name and what is the mission according to what you guys do.
Okay, thank you very much, Angela. My business is the Swann School of Protocol, Brandywine. And the Brandywine part is because it's a big organization. We're not a franchise, but it kind of looks like one because it's the Swann School of Protocol and town, wherever you are. We have Western Maryland, we have DC, we have different branches, so to speak. So I am Swann School of Protocol, Brandywine. I stood my company up last year. It's been almost a year. And I've been wanting to do an etiquette business for years, since high school, charm school classes, and, how to walk and talk. And my sister being in a cotillion, I was just always fascinated by etiquette, by walking and talking and sitting and things like that. I kind of disrupted all of that when I went into the military and was in combat boots and camouflage. But
thank you for your service. Yes.
When they would tell me, you don't look like a soldier, you look like a lady in a uniform.
Yeah.
So I guess I didn't quite embrace it all the way, but over 30-something years. So anyhow, when I retired, I'm thinking, okay, now finally maybe I can start this etiquette business. And I looked at several businesses, several schools in the area. And the reason I chose Swann School of Protocol is one, because it's sister-led. Elaine Swann. Elaine has been on Jennifer Hudson. She's been on NBC News. She's been all over. She just published a book. But this company gets you set up for your business. Most of them give you the certificate and then you're on your own. But with this Swann School of Protocol, they set you up, they give you a support system, they create your website, you get business cards, and everything you need to get started. Business in a box, they call it. We have weekly motivational sessions, and Elaine gives us little tidbits of how we can grow our business. And it's kind of up to you to get out there and get it done. So the first class I did, I was thinking, well, what can I talk about? What kind of class can I give? Or she told us about recording ourselves, going somewhere and doing a recording with a tripod. And I said, well, you know what? I'm going to do one about walking because I know about there's etiquette to walking. And if you know it, it can be, so you walk on the right, you pass on the left. So I took my tripod to the park last summer and I propped it up and I found a good place to record. And so my first video was about walking, etiquette of walking, how you do that. And people are writing that because some people don't know, they're all over the place. Mm-hmm. Right after that, I got a phone call to do a class, a dining skills class, which I really love doing, the dining skills. Which fork to pick up when and where it goes. And
we all need that.
And that was many. Yeah, like, okay, whose fork is that, yours or mine?
Which glass, right?
Yes. Okay, we have a little, and and the cue to that is BMW. So if you sit down and the bread on the left, your meal is in the front, and your water is on the right. BMW.
Okay.
Okay.
I just
So when
learned
you sit
something
down,
more
you say, okay,
today.
that's my bread. This is my meal, and this is my water. So if you remember that.
Oh, okay.
Um, okay.
I
So
love that.
I got an invitation to go to Johns Hopkins to present dining skills to 60 college students.
Wow.
And I had not done anything like that, but when I got the referral, I called Johns Hopkins and I said, "Can you do this?" And I said, "Sure, absolutely." I didn't have a clue how I was going to do it. Sure, absolutely. I hung up the phone. I'm like, "Oh my God, I don't
That's
know how I'm
faith
going to."
right there. I love it. I love it.
Never let them see you sweat.
That
So
part.
I knew that I had looked at some of the other ladies' websites, and there was one lady that I liked her presentation, her website. She had a tablecloth with the logo on it. I called her, and I'm so glad I did because she helped me. I said, "Can you please partner with me?"
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
and she and I, and then we called another lady who hadn't done a class. And I said, "Hey, come on and go. We're going to Baltimore, you know." And so we all got there, surprising with the traffic at the same time. And when we walked in with our dresses and our heels and our pearls, kind of like a top lady thing,
Yes.
the lady who was in charge, it was a sister, kind of young girl. And when she saw us, she just like, "Hi." Like she was so happy to see us come in there professional.
I love it.
And we
I
didn't talk
love it.
about what we were going to wear. I think
Mhm.
you just know, you know.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it went very well. I was very pleased with that. And from that, Lady Michelle saw that and she invited me to come and do a class with the teens on communication. So, like I said, there's etiquette in walking, talking, crossing the street, communication skills. All of that matters. And so I've been very excited about it. I'm trying to get a little bit more. I'm going to start my tea party
Yes.
etiquette. Elaine, once a month we do a webinar, and she'll give us little tips about how to expand our business. And so she talked about going to the community library. Go to the library, they won't pay you, but they'll advertise your business and they'll let you teach a class. So I went to the library and they said, okay, she went to talk to the manager, came back to the manager, said, fill out this form online. This was in November. Fill out the form and send it back. She said, okay, can you do an hour in January, February, March, an hour class to children? So January, I think I was out of town. I had somebody else do it. February got snowed out. And so this Saturday, the 28th, I'll be doing a 1 hour class to children from 5 to 12 on behavior. That's what they asked for, behavior.
Behavior. That is so needed.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
What age group?
5 to 12 years old at the library.
Okay.
And I said, well, we're on a Saturday morning, we're Saturday afternoon. And she said, there are the parents, they have programs at the library where the kids come and they have different programs for them. But just like Elaine said, they advertise it. It's in the newsletter, my website link, my picture is there.
Visibility is everything.
Everything.
And so if they can't go to the library, they go to where you are and whatever program that you have, and you're planting the seed now and letting them know what's possible. Yes. That is amazing. Yes. And the other thing that I like what you said was about the networking. And so when you had that opportunity at Johns Hopkins, that fits right into my mindset because I truly believe in the art of networking and collaborating, because it not only takes the weight off of you, but it opens up the invitation for more opportunity, bringing those women to bear of like minds, and then to come in and to show up in a professional way, meeting the needs of the organization and delivering with success. And then that, should one of them have another opportunity later on, they will very likely reach out to you because you all together have already proved the model and that the model works. That is amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was a wonderful opportunity. I mean, just us even getting to the parking garage at the same time, it was the first piece of success. Like
you were totally in
4:30 in the afternoon in Baltimore.
Absolutely.
But I was so thankful. I reached out to the right person. Yolanda was an absolute blessing to me. And so she taught me some things, and we went over what we were going to do, and it was and I forget the lady's name, Michelle. I forget her last name, but I mean, they were so gracious and they were so thankful for us coming there and doing that.
Wonderful.
And I said, well, if you start out like that.
How do people find out about you in addition to your website? I know word of mouth is starting to take root, but what other ways that what kind of sets you apart from other etiquette schools, and how do they find you in terms of the services that you offer?
I guess location started
Okay.
because I got a phone. Actually, I got an email
All right.
last week sometime, and a lady said she was looking for etiquette school in the area, and so she Googled it, and you Google and you can find us,
Yes.
and it came up, and so she sent me an email, and she said, "Oh, by the way, my mother's a top lady."
There you go. Networking, right? Connection.
So I think she wanted to know more about. She was looking for etiquette training, actually, and so she wanted to talk about the program that I'm in, and what I thought about it, and compared to other programs that charge 3 times as much. And as I said, I think I like the fact that Elaine Swann, she gives us a lot of information. So people will do that, and referrals. There's a lady in Waldorf. I've probably gotten 3 or 4 referrals for her because she's taking care of her parents and she just can't get out. So every time she gets something, she gives it to me. And if it's a paid event, I send her a couple of dollars. And if it's not, that's okay. But I make sure I let her know that I appreciate it. So keep the referrals coming. Yeah, so that's how people find word of mouth. And so I'm getting ready to start my tea party event. So
I will be there for that. So to everybody tuned in, we're going to have a special birthday party, right, for all of the birthdays in March through June. I think it's March, April, May. Okay, and we're going to just have a good time at a tea party, and it's going to be epic, and I cannot wait. I can't wait. It's going to be so nice. So it seems like there's no age group because we're adults, and so you're coming to serve us. But then you talked about the college age group, and you talked about the young people at the library. So it's almost like a bespoke type event. You can cater or curate an event for any group depending on what their needs are. Is that accurate? Okay.
Yeah.
That's important. That's awesome because people are in different places, right? And we talked about walking, we talked about dining. What about negotiating? I mean, there's an art and a certain etiquette to that as well. Is that something that you could offer, maybe you haven't in the past? Before you answer that, let me say why I said that. Because you've already proven that you can do that. You've already, when you went and you networked with those 2 women, you all went to Baltimore and going out to the library and one thing leading to another. That's an art that you have organically. So I'm just wondering if you offer that as a service.
I don't have it. I wouldn't say that I do networking. We do. So for instance, with the college students, we did practice having them eat and then get up and be sociable with other people in the area. So maybe not so much negotiating, but how to table talk, how to get up and navigate the room and have communication and bring up a topic to have conversation. But as far as negotiating, that I don't say that that's a skill that I have, but if I did, I could offer that. Because there's etiquette in that. There's protocol, there's a proper way, if you're having a conversation, a dialogue, what you do next, what you say next. Yeah. So it's etiquette in everything.
I totally agree. So tell me, we talked about 3 that you really honed in on. Any that I missed other than the dining, the walking, and the behavior?
So we have children's etiquette. We have teens. We have cell phone skills. Interacting, cell phone use, how to introduce people, young people, old people, introductions. And then we have like adult, and then we have senior. So matter of fact, Yolanda, who partnered with me, she's doing a series at a law firm. And she's doing the personality, what do you call it? Briggs Myers. It's called something else.
Right.
Now.
The personality traits.
Yeah. So she starts with that, and I haven't seen her do that. I'm not sure where she's going with it, but she's got a contract with a law firm for their personnel. So It can be just business skills, how to talk, how to sit, how to get up from the table. When do you start eating? Most of it is around dining skills. But like I did with our teens, our TTA, it was about communication, nonverbal and nonverbal cues and skills. So, just a proper way. Etiquette is all about making others feel comfortable.
Right.
So whatever environment. For the behavior class I'm doing on Saturday with the 5 to 12-year-old, it's about just having good manners. And when you have good manners, you make friends. People want to be around you. They don't mind. That's how you make friends, by being polite, being kind, showing good manners, displaying good manners. And so a lot of it is built around that, good manners, and making others, as we say, it's about making others feel comfortable about being around, opening the door, holding the door, getting in the car, shaking hands, interview skills. I mean, it just goes on and on and on.
I see that pairing well with protocol. So you and I are members of Top Ladies of Distinction, and you mentioned TTA. And for those tuning in, TTA is an acronym, if you will, for Top Teens of America. For every Top Ladies of Distinction chapter, and we're a national organization, there's a Top Teens of America. But whether it be Top Teens of America, fraternity, or sorority, or any type of organization, there's a protocol that goes along with that. And what would pair well to me with any type of protocol is the type of etiquette that goes along with it, because protocol is deeply rooted in how you interact with people. And it's set up so that we have certain norms and those types of things. We don't necessarily always talk about the etiquette piece, which is inherent in the protocol itself. So I see a great opportunity for organizations to come and pair whatever protocol that they have in mind, regardless of how it's written in their bylaws and their governance, to say, well, what goes behind it? Why are we doing this in the first place, right? It's all about the etiquette. We show up for each other. We can't do the service of any of these organizations unless we start within our own organization, and we learn how to respect, how to engage with one another. And then when we go out and we want to reach out to the public, how we engage with them. The handshaking that you talked about, the way in which we enforce and tell our story about our organization. Does it show up the same way? Do we use the proper diction? Are we telling the right story? So I see you really nested in all types of organizations, and those that are emerging, just to make sure that they're rooted in proper etiquette as they kind of go forth and do their mission.
Yes. And and I'm thinking as you're talking, I said, I kind of disrupted things when I went into the military. But when you talk about protocol, in the military, there's a right. Oh my gosh. So it really enhances, the etiquette skill, because it kind of plays into it. There's when you walk, just like with our organization, with Top Ladies, and with any leadership organization, how you walk into a room, who sits to the right, who sits to the left, how you shake hands, it's all relevant. And even with communication skills, because some of our young people are so engaged on their phones right now that they're losing their communication skills, the eye contact, just having conversations with one another. So, so etiquette and this training, if you say, so to speak, is really gaining, leverage. People are asking for it now because COVID closed everybody down and shut people down, and so people are asking for it for their teens. I have seen one of our consultants do a dining skill one-on-one with a 12, I think he's 10 years old. His mother asked her, and it was via Zoom, and they went through dining skills on Zoom, how to eat, how to pick up the right fork. Just for her child, she wanted that.
You mentioned COVID, and you also mentioned phone skills. And one of the things that before COVID, one of the things that I think kind of separates people from proper etiquette unknowingly is this whole tethering that we have to our devices, right? And so, we forget how to speak to each other. If it's not some short text, we even forget how to spell sometimes, right? All of those things. And so the etiquette kind of brings us back in a way that which we can become comfortable. Maybe not again, because for younger people, they never knew this, right? But it shows everybody how to show up for themselves, for each other, how to engage, how to have an actual conversation outside of gaming and, whatever device that they have, even on Zoom. I mean, we do a lot on Zoom, but do we know how to embrace, what is the proper way to embrace each other when we show up in person, and what is the comfortable way to do that? And every culture is different. Most organizations, they come together, they pray, there's a proper etiquette. Everybody should feel welcome, and we should be able to know from an etiquette perspective how to allow each person to pray in a way in which is comfortable for them. All of the things come to mind when I think about etiquette.
Yes.
Your vision for the future, what do you see for the future for your company?
Tea parties.
Tea parties. You like that's a...
I really do like that because again, I love dressing up. And I think that's, and maybe because being, before the military, so I grew up in New York, Long Island, and growing up and in my hometown, we did a lot of social things like that. Okay. 4 or 5 gowns when I was in the 10th grade. I made my own. If my mother didn't make the gown, we were always going out in a gown. And so I've always loved that. And I want to see that come back in a greater sense. And so I want to, I want to get involved in more cotillions. Okay. I want to get involved in youth dining skills and just behavior and bringing awareness. When you talked about different cultures, we talked about that when I did the class with our top teens of America back in October, how, a handshake might mean something here and it means something else in another culture. So bringing awareness to different cultures and how they conduct themselves. But just going forward, I really like the idea of tea parties, but I just want to expand and explore all types of etiquette. When people call me and say, I'm not really sure what I do have a class coming up in a couple of weeks. I'm not sure what I want. I just have 2 teenage girls and they need some etiquette training. So, I'm going to talk with them about, how to walk into a room, how to sit down, how to get up. Interviewing skills are very important. I think somebody in our chapter that I know in the area had interview skills for seniors a couple of days ago. That's very important because they don't get that all the time. And so I think just working with youth pretty much. I love with the children, because you kind of lay the foundation. So I hope to continue this partnership, if you will, with the Prince George County Memorial Library System. That's what the library part is. I want to continue that and do a once-a-month class with the young children so they know how good manners, helps you get along with other people, and with the teens. The college age, great, but I think for the children and high school, I think that's going to be my focus. And then for fun time, tea parties.
Tea parties. I like the tea parties. So that's good for a good girls, event, whether it be they're celebrating something or they just want to get together and have some fun, a good tea party, fascinators and all the things.
I did that with my granddaughter. She had her 10th birthday party. She did a sleepover here at my house. And Friday, I think it came Saturday night. So Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, we had a little tea party. They had little fascinators, and I let them use my pearl necklace. I'm going to give those back. They had gloves, and they absolutely loved it. It was just a wonderful time.
I love it. I love it.
Young girls love it. Yeah, it's
That is everything. That is everything. All right. So anything else that I may have missed that is on your radar, but not mine, and you want everyone to know?
No, just that I love that people are asking about it, or that you contacted me, and being in the newsletter back in December that brought awareness to it, because it was when I did the Baltimore training and put that on social media that Wanda Boone reached out to me and said, hey, and I was the first one that they did the spotlight on because of that.
Yes.
So
that was an amazing article.
Yeah.
You are an amazing person.
Thank you so much.
You know what? I want to say this about your business is that you walk the walk. I mean, a lot of us get into these environments, and for the most part, everybody is fulfilling their purpose. But it's very clear, it's very evident that you are passionate about this, because when I think about etiquette and I think about poise and I think about being regal and, the character that comes with that and the confidence, that's what my hope is for anybody that takes any of these types of classes, is they walk away with the confidence in knowing that they can hold their head high no matter which room that they're in, whether it be, them working aside somebody or they're leading a group of people. You have to maintain that etiquette presence about you no matter what you do and who you're with.
Yes, absolutely.
And
that
it's
confidence that you get
generation,
from knowing
that confidence,
what to do.
right? And it's legacy too. I see families getting together doing some of this, maybe just for fun, having their own little tea party.
Yes, a friend of mine told me about her mother for her 70th birthday. And what was really exciting to me was that her dad and one of his friends, it was a tea party, and they acted like the waiters. And they had the napkin over and they served the ladies. I said, oh, maybe
that is adorable. That is adorable.
Yes. So it's wonderful. And I say the tea party because I'm finding that that's big in the Washington, D.C. area. And I love that. But again, I love teaching the children and the teens.
So quick question for you. Are there mainly young women or are there also young men that go to these classes?
So I attended an afternoon tea in Washington, D.C. last summer, and there were 3 or 4 gentlemen there.
Oh, really? Okay.
There were some men. We have one in Swann School of Protocol. We have one male. He just became a member, maybe I think a year or so ago. And so, yeah, some people like tea. Some people like going around to, it's not just ladies. There's a few men here and there that just like that touch. And they also want to find dining skills, table skills, when to
that's
start
important
eating.
for everybody.
Yeah, that's important for everybody.
I love it. Well, Miss Charlene, thank you so, so very much for your time. Well, you are a true joy, and I totally believe in what you do. And so if anybody is looking for an etiquette class or just want to have some fun with you and your friends, your family, do reach out to Miss Charlene and book your session. So that you can have fun and tell others. You may not have a need right now, but if, for anybody that this is good for organizations, it's good for family, it's good for friends. And I see a mixed group. So we talked about different age groups, but I see people working together, maybe a family, maybe for a family reunion, something fun, whatever it is that you want to do and you want to know more about etiquette, reach out to Miss Charlene for the Swann School of Etiquette in Brandywine. Lady Charlene, you have been so gracious with your time. Thank you so much. And happy Women's HERstory Month to you. You are our living legend. I am so proud and so honored to know you.
Thank you so much.